Hello, welcome to Local Anesthetic Podcasts, your weekly injection of mind-numbing local news. My name is Alex, and joining us, as always, from wherever you live, Rob, Epping.
Loughton.
Is Rob.
Yeah,
yeah, but which is in Epping.
No, it's an entirely separate town.
Where is it then?
Loughton. Loughton is the town.
Always say, no, but it's not in East London. It's in, I'm forgetting the...
Essex.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Anyway.
Oh, God. Okay.
Rob, I'm very distracted because I can hear the rain lashing against my window pane. And if the listeners can hear it, I apologise. But we are in the middle of storm. What is it? Kiara?
Kiara, I think it is. Or Ciara?
Which makes me think of Kiora, which is something, of course, I associate with good times. You know, drinking a glass of Kiora while we all went on a family trip in my family's Vauxhall Labrador. But
it always makes me think...
Yep.
I also regard Kiora on the same level of as Mbongo, which obviously we featured on the podcast many years ago.
Yeah, and both of them I think had quite racist advertisements. Well,
yeah.
Moving on from that, we are recording for the Fastidious Amongst You on February the 10th, 2020. So the storm was technically yesterday, but it has kind of bled over into today, hasn't it? I didn't really sleep that well last night either because of the noise.
No, I think I got woken up about 1 o'clock. We had a hailstorm, which was quite violently throwing hailstones against our window, which was interesting. And then
Rob, can you show listeners what happened when you woke up? Because I'm assuming it was a no, God, please.
no, please, Lord, I'm not ready. Something along those lines.
What I thought. Yeah.
And then on the way home, Sarah's come and pick me up from the station because it's sleeting, but quite heavily here. So it's been a really interesting 24 hours.
Right. Oh, right. It's actually sleeting in your neck of the woods.
Yeah,
sleet,
really
not
is,
snow.
Yeah. No.
Rob, I fear listeners could be tuning off. They haven't come here to listen about the weather. Before we crack on, is there any news? And I realised the other day that when I always ask you, is there any news, it's quite a ridiculous question to ask because this is a news-based podcast. But I mean any sort of podcast-related news. Administration.
Well, there's a few things. I mean, first of all, I'm going to apologise for delaying this episode. I was extremely busy last week, so we didn't have an opportunity to record. So yeah, apologies for that. Also, just to a certain member of our audience who's, I think the kids say, throwing shade over the fact that I may have forgotten to post a certain image of a gorilla on a mobility scooter on the Facebook page, and saying that this is only the latest incident where I've neglected to post on there.
You did say that you put it up there, Rob.
Yes, I realised that.
And when you listened to the actual edit, you would have had a reminder by listening to the podcast itself.
Yes, that's also true. However, I still forgot. We all make mistakes. We're all human. But apart from that, I think there's nothing else.
Well, there is, because Face of Strange did another nice mock-up, didn't he?
Oh, God, yes, of course.
A tin of crab meat with my face on it.
Yeah, that I enjoyed that very much. Yeah, that seems to have gone down very well with the listenership.
I believe there could be a branding opportunity there. Maybe we could have local anaesthetic crab meat.
Interesting.
I mean, it'd be real low-grade stuff, Rob.
Oh, God, if any old shit we fished out of the Thames, but they're not to know that, Alex. I mean, we could... There might be. I don't know if
there are any crabs in the Thames. Fucking hell, can you imagine?
Well, there probably are crabs in the Thames, just not the ones you want to eat.
No. Rob, let's get on with this. I've got a smattering of sort of a few things that I just want to start off with. One is, Rob, that as you know on this podcast, occasionally we've had a collection of words that have very much reminded us of Chris Morris, the day-to-day, the kind of thing that he would have said on that programme.
Of course, yeah.
And one really, really caught my eye, and I'm going to make an early petition, Rob. What are we? 5 minutes in? I don't even know. I want to make an early petition for our episode title, because I don't know if you know that on the, the Democratic hustings, where they're trying to work out who's going to be their next leader.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, this was today on the 10th of February, and I saw it in the American news outlets. Former Vice President Joe Biden, who was out on the campaign trail, uttered an odd line during a question and answer session in New Hampshire over the weekend. It was an event in Hampton. 21-year-old student Madison Moore asked Biden why he fared so poorly in the Iowa caucuses when he came in 4th place. And Biden said Iowa's a Democratic caucus. Have you ever been to a caucus? Moore nodded yes, but Biden wasn't buying it. And he said, Rob, no you haven't. And then he said, Rob, You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Now, Rob, lying dog-faced pony soldier is a line that could have been uttered in the day today.
Absolutely. I mean, as episode titles go, that is superb. I mean, I don't think we're going to beat that. But what does he mean by that?
Apparently, people have worked out that it is an obscure John Wayne reference, Rob.
Okay, I mean, do the kids today like John Wayne? Do they know who he is? Do they
don't
care?
know. Apparently, it's a line from a John Wayne movie, and somebody on Twitter said, but I only know that because somebody told me. To the average person, optics are horrible. So anyway, I like, for an episode title, a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Brilliant.
On other news, Rob, I just want to tell you something. I don't know if you saw it. Did you hear that recent news about Katie Hopkins? I mean, I don't think we've ever mentioned her before, and I don't ever want to mention her again.
How recently? Because I think I remember reading a story a couple of weeks back, actually. But I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember what the context was.
Well, basically, a YouTuber tricked her into picking up a fake award. And she flew out.
This was
she flew out to pick up this award, and she stood in front of a huge banner sort of thing that says on it, "Campaign to Unify the Nation Trophy," which is what she won. But of course, that spells out the word cunt. She gave a speech and everything, Rob.
I mean, I feel that we need to award this YouTuber something, because that's quite astonishing.
It is. His name is Josh Pieters, and I think we need to, give him kudos for that. Right, Rob. Now, let's move on to the stories proper. As you know, we don't normally, Rob. We have a rule, don't we? We'll cover anything apart from what, Rob? We don't cover stories that involve what?
Death.
Well, no, we cover lots of stories that involve death. Be more specific.
Which tragically ends in someone's death.
Human death.
Oh, human death. Yeah.
I'm going to break the code. Only because I want to have a conversation about this.
Okay, fine.
This is from the Washington Post. It was recorded in many... Now, I did find it in local... I want to say to those purists out there, I'd found it on local news sites in America. But the problem is that because of various EU stuff about GDPR... Unless websites have got themselves geared up to comply with it, a lot of American local news websites, you'll just get a page that says, sorry, you can't access this content because it's from the UK, and we haven't got round to fixing things yet. So I've had to find a national version of this. February the 7th, 2020. Oh, hang on a minute, Rob. Before I get on with this, I am just aware, everybody, put down what you're doing and pray silence, please. It's the 10th of February today, Rob. The day we're recording. In 2 days' time, am I wrong in thinking it's our 8-year anniversary?
No, you're absolutely spot on. Oh, hang on.
Where's the...
No, wait a minute. No, you are wrong. It's the 16th is our anniversary.
Right. Still, okay, in 6 days' time then. I thought it was the 12th.
Fuck, when was it? Hang on, I'll go on. Keep talking, Alex.
No, you're right. 16th, 2012. That's where I'm getting the word 12.
There we are. Yeah, that's it.
Well, anyway, but I mean, that's the moment, Rob. We're not going to be on air. Well, actually, we should celebrate that next episode then. That'll be perfect.
We should, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I'll get some nice music to play in the background. We'll get some champagne. You could wear some lingerie, maybe.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I always am. But, yeah, that sounds nice.
Well, I just meant something a bit higher class than whatever that shit is you're wearing.
This is Primark's best. It's a peephole bra, can you not see?
I can, unfortunately. Right, Rob, listen. This is from the Washington Post, 7th of February. Okay. I don't know how to go through the story. So, a Massachusetts man tried to be a good Samaritan, Rob, and save his neighbour from being mauled by a dog.
Okay.
So what do you think happened next? So a man sees his neighbour being mauled by a dog, potentially to death, and he tries to be a good Samaritan. Now, I've told you this story ends with somebody dying. So what do you think happens?
Well, obviously he intervened, managed to get the dog off the neighbour, and the dog savaged him instead.
No. So what happened was this guy, Joshua... I'll just call him Joshua because I can't pronounce his last name. So his neighbour heard his pleas for help as he was being mauled savagely by this dog. And the neighbour rushed to his own apartment and grabbed a crossbow, which apparently has a licence for.
Okay.
He could hear somebody screaming for help, saying, "Please shoot the dogs." The dogs have been aggressive in the past. One of the dogs had attacked somebody in their home in 2018, causing that person to receive medical attention. So the neighbour rushed to his apartment. He aimed a crossbow at one of the pit bulls, which was outside a closed door up a flight of stairs. And the guy who's being mauled had barricaded himself behind the door. So you can imagine the dogs are on one side, ferociously tearing at this door now. He's managed to get behind the door and barricade himself behind. The neighbour points the crossbow at the stairs and shoots, and apparently the crossbow went through the dog, but also through the door and killed the man.
Oh my God.
Now, the reason I'm reading this story, and basically the police are investigating the death of an accident, really is a chain of very unfortunate circumstances, the police have said. What I want to talk to you about is that I don't think it's the best idea in the world in that situation to try and remedy it with a crossbow. A crossbow is a volatile instrument, I would say, in this situation.
Yeah, because I think, from what I understand about crossbows, I think the speed at which they fire is the equivalent of a gun firing a bullet. They are high-velocity weapons.
Because presumably he wouldn't have grabbed a gun in this situation because he knew the man was on the other side of the door. So if I shoot the dogs, the bullets could go through the door and kill the man. But didn't he think the same would apply to a crossbow? I mean, that's like shooting a harpoon.
But that's it. Also, basically, you're taking a ballistic weapon and then increasing the bullet by about, what? How long is an arrow? Probably about, what? About 3 foot, maybe? I'd say.
So the question then becomes, Rob, what would you have done then? So you're going to be the Good Samaritan. You're going to get the dogs off. Yeah. I mean, obviously you could have enticed them down in your nice lingerie, but what else would you have done? Grenade wouldn't have worked, obviously.
Really worryingly, that was exactly the joke I was going to make. I was going to go around the laundry and try and seduce the dogs, a la Sasha. But what would you do? I mean, you'd obviously find something to distract the dogs. I don't think I would attack the dog. I don't think I physically could. I would have to find some sort of distraction. And also
distraction.
Yeah, I
call
don't
the
know,
RSPCA.
Maybe...
You could put on the Honey Monster outfit, Rob. That would distract them.
No, can't mention that. What I would do is, Alex, I'd go outside, entice a cat, and just throw it into the mix.
Oh, you get a cat and just throw it at the dogs?
Yeah.
Right.
Then in the confusion, I'd get out my semi-automatic machine gun and then shoot everything. Oh no, we're not using guns, are we? Sorry, I got confused. Maybe it's just my throwing knives or my nunchucks.
Okay, fine. Anyway. I just wanted to know, Rob. Oh, do you know? Okay, Rob. I've got a local news story from the News Shopper, who finally featured a story worth reporting on Local Anesthetic Podcast. And I have to say, I think we found the new Patrick Grafton O'Green.
Hang on, is it just Patrick Grafton Green?
Yeah. I've got.
Have you just made him Irish?
Well, do you not think Patrick Grafton Green is Irish, Rob?
No, he sounds very middle class.
Patrick Grafton, those sound Irish to me.
Well, you're the only reason you're saying Patrick is
St. Patrick's Day.
That's as far as it goes.
Paddy, listen. Well, this person is Irish. They're Ewan O'Byrne Mulligan. You're going to tell me he's not Irish?
No, there's no mistaking that. He's definitely Irish.
All right, Rob, this is a brilliant story, which is very local to me. So down the road from me, I can drive to a place called Penge. Yep. And in Penge, there is a McDonald's. And this is a story about Penge McDonald's because this is from Rob, the 5th of February. A furious woman who says she could have caught coronavirus when she was served a partially eaten fillet of fish in Penge McDonald's is demanding compensation. I'll let you react to that, Rob.
Sorry, is Penge a hotbed for the coronavirus?
Well, I don't know, but the point, you can never be too careful. But what do you think about her receiving a half-eaten fillet of fish?
Well, it's Penge. What do you expect?
Well, that's fair. As Tracy Odlum, and she is an Odlum, 53, lifted the lid on her lunch break order, she came, Rob, to the shocking realisation that a bite was already missing from her burger. Not really a burger, it's a fillet of fish. The Penge mum says she deserves at least a 4-figure sum from the fast food chain.
Are you joking? 4-figure sum?
$1,000 minimum.
I mean, has she ever read any local news story? She'll get like a £10 voucher and be fucking happy with it.
Well, a lot of the commenters said that maybe they could offer her like £10 and 1p, which is technically a 4-figure sum.
Good point. Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Can I just interject here as well? I've always thought it ever since living in Crystal Palace. Does does penge not sound like a euphemism for genitalia? Or is it just me?
Male or female?
Either, I think.
Penge.
Oh, you should have seen his penge. It was fucking huge. She got a penge out.
I like that.
Okay, sorry.
Now, Rob, she wants this 4-figure sum to make up for the distress she experienced on January the 16th and in weeks after. She said, "I don't know how I feel. I've never experienced anything like this in my life." Rob, please, now, with all your sympathy, hear her plea here. "It's all made me feel very anxious. I go to bed thinking of McDonald's, and I wake up thinking of McDonald's." She'd be good in an advert, wouldn't she? That could be their new slogan.
True, yeah. I don't want to cast aspersions on this. Does it have a picture of her, just have interest? Before I cast...
Yes, it does.
Does she look like the kind of woman who dream about McDonald's on a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week basis?
No, actually. She doesn't.
Fine.
No.
She's not as the people.
Well, I don't know, Rob. Those are your prejudices, not mine. She said, Rob, the burger would have had saliva on it. With the coronavirus and everything, who knows what could have happened? I would like some form of compensation. I think I'm owed some money for how they've treated me. A 4-figure sum at least. Observing her reaction to the tainted meal, a customer asked Miss Odlum what was wrong with her order. When she said, "Somebody's taken a bite out of my fillet of fish," not a euphemism, the other customer went on to reveal that he had taken the offending bite before returning the burger as its bun had not been toasted. So now, Rob, do you understand what's happening?
Sorry, when is it just me, but do McDonald's toast their buns? Again, not a euphemism.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Rob, a man has ordered a fillet of fish. He's very happy. By the way, it takes a long time to be served in Penge McDonald's. Sits down, goes to eat it, takes a bite, and realises his bun has not been toasted. Goes up to the counter, says, "I'd like to return this fillet of fish. My bun is not toasted." Presumably they didn't tell him to fuck off, but gave him another one. But she received the offending item, Rob, with the bite taken out. Her appetite... So Miss Odlum informed the server immediately, who she says initially accused her of taking the bite herself. Her appetite spoiled, Miss Odlum returned to work where she stewed on the incident until deciding to make an official complaint. She eventually received a call from the franchise owner, who apologised, told an investigation had been opened into the incident. I bet when they say that, all these companies, there is no investigation.
No, of course it's not. They don't give a shit.
And offered her, Rob, free food vouchers. "The last thing I want," she says, "is more McDonald's." I was seething. Despite the apology, Miss Odlum believes compensation is still in order, as the restaurant has, in her words, not acknowledged they sold a burger covered in another customer's saliva.
No, hang on. I'm sorry. No. Right. First of all, it sounds like she ate the food in the restaurant. Is that fair to say? Because she said she went back up to the server to complain.
Yes.
So she must have opened the burger, and I think in most cases you look down at what you're potentially going to eat. I don't think this burger's had any contact with her whatsoever.
But what I don't understand is, Rob, there was a perfectly reasonable solution. She had the man there who'd taken the bite. Right?
Yeah.
He'd got a new fillet of fish, so all they had to do was swap round the fillets. A spokesman from
Is there a
McDonald's
pun in there somewhere that I'm not aware of?
No, they're just saying they swap round the fillet. Do you not see what I mean? He can give her his uneaten one.
Yeah.
She can give him her eaten one. He can put it between his toasted bun. She can put his... It's going wrong, this. Forget it. A spokesperson for McDonald's said, "We're aware of an incident in our Penge restaurant and have investigated what happened internally," not a euphemism, "to ensure that this does not reoccur. We take order accuracy very seriously, and therefore it's disappointing when incidences like this do happen," which suggests they happen regularly. "We've been in discussions with the customer and apologised for the mistake." Rob, what I would love is in incidents like this, right? McDonald, like Penge informed McDonald's head office, yeah. Even like in the States, I don't know, who get onto the UK head office, and basically McDonald's in the middle of the night send round a man in a Ronald McDonald costume, and he beats the crap out of whatever customers complained.
So
Actually, I've just realised that is highly litigious.
yeah, I personally really feel I need to distance myself from your comments suggesting that
I take
all
them back.
McDonald's customers should be beaten up by Ronald McDonald if they complain.
Or that McDonald's would ever consider such a thing. They're a family restaurant. I guess it would be the Hamburglar if it was anybody.
Exactly. Yes. Let's get this right.
Rob, there were some comments, and there are about 28 of them, but I'm not going to read them all out. I've just selected the best one.
Okay.
It's from South East London, who simply says, "Why take down my comment, news shopper? All I did was point out she's a typical chav drama queen." Okay, Rob, you got some stories for us there.
Yeah, 2 stories. Only one of which is from a local paper, but we'll come on to that. Actually, no, this story will feature first. So it's from the Somerset Live. It's by Michael Taylor from the 7th of Feb. And the headline: Row rumbles on over selfish bongo player who refused to stop beating their drum on top of Glastonbury tour.
I've got this on my list to read out.
Oh, really? Sorry.
It tickled me the same way it's tickled you, yeah. But the listeners need to know. It doesn't matter if I know, Rob, it's the listeners that need to know.
The thing is, because it's just so fitting, and this just typifies Glastonbury. Because obviously Glastonbury is famous for the Glastonbury Festival, but also Glastonbury is famous for many other reasons. I mean, it had a massive abbey that was destroyed during the dissolution of the monasteries, for those who are fans of the Reformation. It's also apparently has legends of King Arthur associated with it, and apparently Jesus was also supposed to have visited Glastonbury. It's a very strange New Age place. So this just encapsulates the spirit of Glastonbury. Anyway, so a row continues to rumble over a selfish bongo player who continues to play their drum on Glastonbury tour at sunset.
Which would be fucking annoying.
It is, yeah. And, I mean, it's one of those places where there's a lot of, as I said, a lot of New Age, maybe some Druids, maybe some pagans. So they want to go there at sunset to celebrate their many gods, like Pan and etc. And they can't do that, Alex. They can't, strip down to their naked bodies and run around their fires with their sacred sticks. So you can understand it, Alex.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I've no idea. It's been a long day. I think
I just let you go there, but
Yeah. So, and also, if we do have any pagan listeners, welcome. So a note attached to a gate leading up to the National Trust site has described the mysterious musician as selfish, and is reportedly ruining the shared sacred place and space by playing their drum on top of the hill.
Imagine them shouting at him, "You're ruining the atmos!"
But it's like, what I love is, this all comes down to a passive-aggressive note that's written in 3 different colours.
Yeah, well, I can't remember the story, so you have to remind me.
So, written in 3 different colours, as I just said, the anonymous writer believes that the mysterious musician's song spoils the sacred silence of the site.
Rob, can I just say I'm sorry to intervene again? I like as an episode title, a note written in 3 different colours. Is that what you put, or a message? Was it a message or a note?
Yeah, it's a note. It's a note written in 3 different colours.
A note written in 3 different colours sounds like a movie that would potentially win an Oscar. And I'm just basing that on the title alone. Yep,
okay. No, I can see where you're going with that. Yeah,
a kind of mainstream art house sort of film that takes the world by storm and it kind of picks up loads of awards. Maybe it wins at Cannes. A note written in 3 different colours. Rob, it's very evocative.
It is.
I quite like that as our episode title. It's very beautiful.
I completely agree, Alex. Yeah, there is something about it that does say art house film. It's not going to get a national release, but it's going to be remembered for years to come as a cult classic.
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't win the Oscars, but it'd win those kind of Cannes, the Palme d'Or, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Can I just say that I also quite like the alliteration of the mysterious musician's song spoils the sacred silence of this site.
Wow, that is amazing. And you did very well to get all that out there, Rob, without any mistakes.
Thank you. So it claims that people walk away quite upset in not being able to enjoy the tour in silence, and recommends that the bongo player takes timed breaks. Which implies
Why is he
that
there
he's
playing the
busking.
bongos?
Because it's Glastonbury.
Right, yeah, I know.
The notice attracted a mixed response on social media, where people commenting they quite like the player, while another said it's nothing more annoying than bongos. I think there probably are things more annoying than bongos. Do you not think?
The coronavirus.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, or maybe a bite taken out of your fillet of fish.
You.
Well, I for one disagree.
I've just got an image of somebody who's near the brink, turning up at this site to confront this bongo player with a crossbow.
So I was wondering that whether this certain individual had basically had spent his life earning his fortune in the city and had just moved to Glastonbury to try and get the peace and quiet, to try and get his blood pressure down.
and every day it's that kind of thing.
And slowly he's losing his grip on reality.
Falling down Michael Douglas style.
Exactly. And that's when the crossbow comes out, and that's when he kills. This is all speculation. There's no indication that this will happen. So a post on the Facebook page.
Is there a hill where they are, Rob? Is it or a hill, a valley, a cliff? Is there anything?
Have you not seen Glastonbury Tour?
Well, that's what I'm trying to envisage in my mind now.
So Glastonbury Tour.
Is there any kind of drop?
Not necessarily.
Is there anywhere where if you could pick up the bongos and hurl them over?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Glastonbury Tour is basically is perched on top of a hill. You could literally just throw it and it would destroy it. Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know what Glastonbury Tour is, basically Glastonbury Tour is a massive hill that's got.
I'm going to look it up.
It's quite strange. It's Iron Age and it has like paths cut into the actual hill, and then at the top there used to be a church, but the only thing left now is the spire of the church. It's quite beautiful. I
think I've been there actually, but when I was a child. Yeah, that is amazing.
It's beautiful.
And what is that thing at the top? Is that a monastery?
It used to be a church, but yeah, the spire is the only thing left.
Reminds me of the monolith from 2001 perched on top of that hill.
Well, many have speculated it's supposed to be the Isle of Avalon, going back to Arthurian times, because obviously it's on the Salisbury Plains, which is notoriously flat, but that's one of the
you could easily throw the bongos down there because they'd roll as well, Rob.
Exactly, yeah. Which may be more annoying.
Yeah,
because it may make a noise every time it hits something.
Hidden within that hill, Rob. Within that hill.
Yep. I
think are aliens.
Do you know
a secret base?
Worryingly, I think there'll probably be people in Glastonbury who genuinely believe that to be the case.
John Mooner.
I wonder if John Mooner's ever been to Glastonbury. I mean, I
don't think he's ever left his fucking house, mate.
No, that's right. I mean, there's going to be a lot of internet research going on there. That's a good point, Alex. So a post on the Facebook page of Glastonbury Tour said the saga's been going on for 2 months. The bongo player has already been asked to politely stop, but the complainant was allegedly met with pure defiance and refusal. Which is someone I think it demonstrates someone who has a passion for their art, Alex.
I like the phrase pure defiance and refusal.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The post reads, "For centuries, music has been made upon the tour. I love that. It's a free place, but when it's disrespected to the wishes and the health of others on a regular basis, and it continues despite this alert being raised and the upset it's causing, it becomes a nuisance. The noise is so deafening that it's almost impossible to stand inside the tower to watch the sunset. The decibels are so high, it's upsetting to those who wish to meditate or gather their thoughts during this beautiful time." And it goes on to that effect.
Rob, I never saw this note. You said it's written in 3 different colours, so every line is repeated in a different colour.
Yes, apparently so. Let me just read out this. So, there's a guy called Joe.
I want to guess the colours.
Oh yeah, okay. This guy called Joe believes that he's managed to decipher what the different colours mean. So,
okay.
Do you want to take a guess?
I think green's in there.
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake! All I had to do is guess a colour. You're telling me green wasn't in there?
No.
Blue.
Blue is, yes.
Red.
Yes.
And yellow.
No. It's black. So what do those colours mean? What does this Joe 30 believe that these colours
Blue, yellow
denote?
and black.
No. blue, red, and black?
I've no idea.
Okay, so according to Joe, and I don't know what his background is for him to his credentials are to decipher this. He was maintaining that apparently the black pen seems to correspond to the facts, the red pen is for criticism, and the blue pen is to do with other people's feelings.
I think I'm going to use that in all my sort of any written documentation from now on.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know why this Joe... is this Joe saying he wrote the note? I'm just trying to clarify. Where does he come into this? I don't know. No, it's not entirely
He's just
clear.
some random hippie who hangs around there, Rob.
Yeah, because he goes on to say, we get all sorts up the tour, not a euphemism. For the most part, everyone gets along, but every now and then someone goes too far and takes the mick. The bongo menace has crossed the line. Everyone has a right to enjoy the sunset.
The bongo menace. I'm sorry, that's a very...
Can I just say, this next sentence is just beautiful. Everyone has the right to enjoy the sunset without some pretentious percussionist pounding away.
I don't know if there's an episode title there, but again, wonderful alliteration. Pretentious percussionist. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave that story there, as the saga apparently, as it says in the title, is still rumbling on.
Well, I hope it doesn't end with a crossbow attack. I mean,
No one hopes that is the conclusion.
We just see on the news the tour cordoned off with police tape.
Just a set of blood spattered bongos in the background. Anyway, so my next story, unfortunately, is coming from the Sun, the scourge of journalism. It goes back actually. It's from before Christmas. I don't know why. I think it was just I had too much to feature, but it is a good story. So it's from the 11th of December, and the headline: Mum left stunned after finding willy-shaped wine gum during family car trip.
Again, a wonderful sequence of words there. A willy-shaped wine gum.
Yes.
And by willy, I'm assuming you mean a cock.
Yes, a phallus.
Right. A penge.
Yeah, exactly that, a penge. So, a mum was
it
stunned
Haribo, did you say?
No, it's wine gums.
I'm sorry, I apologise. Actual Maynard's wine gums.
Actually,
Are Maynard's still a company? I don't know.
They are Maynard's. I think they've joined Bassett's. I'm not entirely sure.
So when I was growing up, I always felt like, because I don't know if they still make them like this, but do you remember fruit pastels and wine gums?
Yeah.
And they were very, very similar, very similar sort of packaging, but one was green, fruit pastels, and wine gums was yellow. And I always thought of them as like rivals or like brothers. And you could choose which one you wanted. And I was more of a fruit pastels man because I loved wine gums, but fucking hell, they could rip your teeth out. Because they would, if you were chewing on them, your top set of teeth and your bottom set of teeth could really just congeal over this wine gum, and it could be quite unpleasant at times. But I loved the taste.
Do you know what? That's an interesting discussion topic. Sweets as a child that we tended to enjoy, but actually probably did more harm than good. Because I
count everything in that. I mean, I'm amazed at what my parents actually let me eat. I mean, I'm literally amazed, Rob.
No, but things like a curly whirly. So if it's a curly whirly, which, like I said, is it's obviously a highlight of the selection box. But if it's not been left out, so it's gone chewy, to try and bite into it, and then as you try to pour your teeth away from the rock solid toffee, it's really not an enjoyable experience.
I remember some things I ate that were like got some of the gobstoppers and stuff. I mean, literally, like you could have. Anyway, this is a discussion for another podcast, Rob. But, I've forgotten what this story was about. Oh yeah, willy-shaped wine gum.
Yeah. So a mum was stunned to find a wine gun shaped like a fella's meat and two veg. I mean, does that sentence alone not tell you that we're reading a story from the Sun?
Yes.
So Becky Crocker, 34, pulled the Phallic fruit-flavoured treat out of a bag on a family car trip. She initially
You're going to need to see a picture of this, aren't I, Rob?
Yeah, I think you probably will do.
Okay, I've got to put into Google willy-shaped wine gum.
Yeah. So she initially thought that three of her favourite black wine gums had stuck together before she saw its root shape and burst out laughing. The mother of two...
Yes, it does. It does look like a cock and balls. I mean, we need to be honest. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah. I find it weird that she's on a family car trip. I don't know why.
Sorry, you find the idea of being on a family car trip odd? Or because of her age?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 34. That is a bit strange. I think I wouldn't go on a family car trip with my... Well, no, actually, yeah. When I go and visit my parents and if we go for a drive to the New Forest, I guess you could call that a family fun trip. Unfortunately, not in the Vauxhall Labrador because those don't exist anymore. But
No. It's sad times. She was with a daughter, I should say, as well. And so it wasn't just her and her parents on a...
So I think you're just being ridiculous and picking her up on that. And they are made by Maynard. Maynard's Bassett's. They must have merged, Rob.
I believe so.
What's really scary, Rob... Oh, can you read what it says on the phallus? So on each ball is the letter M for Maynard, but there is a word written on the phallus. It looks like... Oh, what is that word? I can almost make it out.
It looks like Mappet. Mappet? Yeah, I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I've no idea.
Yes, anyway.
Yeah. So the mother of two who was setting off for the Christmas shopping with her parents said, I bought some snacks as we were going on a road trip with my 6-year-old daughter. We were just handing the bag around, and I took one out thinking I was in luck. It had a giant sweet. I was about to put it in my mouth and realised I picked up 3 sweets stuck together. I thought that was a bit much and went to separate them, but it was actually all one joined up sweet. Then I saw what it looked like, and we all burst out laughing. It's not something you'd expect to find in a packet of wine gums.
It isn't, Rob. Now, I've just sent a link to your email. Can you just go on it? You'll find there's an Amazon link. Now, I just want you to click on it and tell me your thoughts.
Okay, let's have a look. Right, okay, yep.
Describe for the listener.
So we are looking at Jelly Willies, they're called. Jelly
Sexy
Willies.
Sweets.
Fruit-flavoured sweets, stag hen, fun, adult, naughty. I'm guessing these are all the taglines for it. And then there's a sexy jelly men. I find this a bit sexist, Alex. Where's the jelly vaginas?
Well, I don't know, Rob, but I did not know there was such a roaring trade looking around Amazon for this sort of product. Look, marshmallow willies, cola bottle willies. I mean, there's loads of them. I don't think this kind of stuff should be on Amazon, to be perfectly honest.
There's Dunking Dickies, which are biscuits that you can dunk into your... Oh, my God.
Great idea for Christmas.
For who? For Grandma.
Oh, I've just found another one. Succulent hard willies. They're hard-boiled sweets, Rob.
Have you seen the after dinner willies?
After dinner willies? What the hell? I mean, somebody's buying these. Large well, I'm not even reading that one out.
I really want to type in jelly vagina into Amazon, but I'm pretty sure that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there, Rob. I'm looking at a penis sponge. It's a sponge shaped like a penis.
Am I logged in? No, thank God for that. Okay. Yeah, this really is quite eye-opening, Alex.
I've also just found a toothbrush in the shape of a willy, Rob. A fucking toothbrush.
Why would you need a toothbrush in that shape?
I have no idea. And also a novelty pen that looks like a penis.
I mean, that makes sense.
Well, none of these make sense. But okay. Anyway. Sorry,
so if I just type in penis-shaped... I want to see what it comes up with. Let's change that to all. I'm just curious as to what the suggestions are going to be. So, all departments. Penis-shaped... No, it doesn't. There's no predictions. Although, oh my God! I mean, literally, you can get anything, Alex.
Can I get a can of beans shaped like a penis?
I mean, you can get everything, but you can get a penis candle. I mean, that's just a vibrator. You can get a frying pan where you can make penis-shaped pancakes. You can get egg fryers that turn things into penis shapes. You can get a stress ball, which is a testicle that you can squeeze.
I've got my own. I don't need it. Right, okay, Rob. Let's finish this story.
Sorry, yeah. Where were we? Right, okay.
Just want to clarify, I've got my own. I'm talking about 2, not 1. Go on, Rob.
Good to know. So I was showing it around to both of my parents, who'd loved it. Apparently, her parents loved it and thought it was hilarious. Accountant Becky bought the £1 bag of Maynard Bassett's wine gums from her local newsagents in Weston-super-Mare, Somerset. 3 blackcurrant sweets appear to be formed in the same mould but failed to separate at the factory. My favourite ones have always been the black ones. You literally can't get any closer to the shape of a penis if you tried. Maynards have been approached for comments. End of story.
I hope she is requesting, Rob, a 4-figure sum. Rob, before we get on to our listener story of the week, I've got a story here from the website Complex. I mean, this is just the best version of the story I found.
Okay.
This is brilliant, Rob. It's by P&L, Weekend Editor. Who is P&L? I'm going to click on P&L and find out who that is. Would like to credit them. No, just says Weekend Editor. Doesn't want to be named. Fine. Fuck you. So, Rob, you know the organisation PETA, don't you?
Of course,
what do they stand for?
I think it's the something. It's ethical treatment of animals. There's the last 3 letters.
Is it petition for the ethical treatment of animals?
I think it might be. Yeah. Let's have a look.
Well, PETA calls on people to use PETA calls on people to use words like companion instead of pet.
That's fair enough. I haven't got a problem with that.
If you asked your pet how it feels about being called a pet, the chances are you wouldn't receive much of a response. That didn't stop Jennifer White, senior media officer at PETA, from telling Good Morning Britain that the term pet is derogatory towards animals and that people should opt for phrases like companion. She says, "We don't hate the word pet, we're just encouraging people to use something better, like companion." She says, "A lot of people at home who have dogs or cats will call them pets and refer to themselves as owners, and that implies that the animals are a possession, like a car, for example. When you refer to animals not as living beings they are, but as an inanimate object, it can reflect our treatment of these animals," Rob.
I can see both sides of the story here. That's what's really frustrating.
Can you?
Yes, Alex. I mean,
I don't think calling them pets.
Creatures.
I don't think. No. I don't think calling them pets means that they're inanimate objects. I think you're just saying what they are. I mean,
you're not going to offend them.
It's ridiculous, the idea that I said to you, how many companions do you have? And you'd say 3 cats.
Sorry, who told you that? Oh, the cats. Sorry, right, okay.
But are they your companions, Rob? Or are they your pets? Answer the question.
They are my pets.
Answer it.
I mean, I do...
You disgusting... Listen to you.
No,
do you own them? Do you own the cats?
Well, I think so. I pay for them. Well, no,
exactly.
Free.
It's just such a ridiculous thing. So, do you own the cats? No, I don't own the cats. Okay, I'll take them then. Rob is the owner, but he's not like, it's just... Anyway, she isn't the first person to make this suggestion. Ingrid Newkirk, president of PETA, previously said a pet is a whole individual with emotions and interests. Animals are not pets. They're not your cheap burglar alarm or something which allows you to go out for a walk. They're not ours as decorations or toys. They're living beings. But I don't think anybody I've met who has pets, the love and energy they pour into them, I've never met anybody... Well, I mean, I know there are people out there, but the vast majority of people see these as living beings.
Yeah, I suppose... Because I remember we had a story before Christmas that was talking about animal rights and certain animals don't have... Yeah. This is the thing. I understand where they're coming from. I understand that it's done with the best of intentions. Trouble is, and PETA, I do... really appreciate the effort you're making, but you just come across as dicks.
Amanda on Twitter says, PETA says the word pet is derogatory to animals and shouldn't be used. I'm sure my pet dogs hate me using this term. I think to myself, as I pay for everything they need, feed and care for them, let them sleep on my bed, walk them in all weathers and clean up their shit after them. Captain Dead Dad says, PETA want people to stop using the word pet. That's fine by me. I call my dog Twatface anyway. Sorry, best tweet of the year, really.
What was his handle? Captain Dead Dad.
Yes.
Right.
Flem Clandango says, I just told my dog.
What?
Yeah, Flem Clandango. That's one for our name list, Rob.
Hang on. Clem Fandango is from. Oh fuck! What's it from? I think
he's
that's
called himself Flem, but yes,
he's
changed the letters round.
Garth Marenghi, isn't it? Clem Fandango. No, it's not. It's Oh, that's gonna Toasted London. There we go.
What's that?
It's have you ever seen Toasted London by Matt Berry? It's very good. I'd highly recommend it.
Well, it's a TV show.
Yeah, it's a comedy show.
Right.
About Stephen Toast, who's an actor, and
Anyway, he says, I've just told my dog that at PETA says he's no longer my pet, but instead my equal, so I'm going to laze around the house all morning, chewing stuff and licking my balls while he drives into work and finishes that report. He can't get the car into gear, though, the useless twat. Now, on the Good Morning Britain, Rob, they put up a splash screen showing, instead of saying these phrases, say this instead. So do you want to hear the ideas?
Yes, of course.
Instead of saying kill 2 birds with 1 stone, feed 2 birds with 1 scone. Instead of be the guinea pig, we should say be the test tube. Instead of say beat a dead horse, we should say feed a fed horse. Instead of bring home the bacon, bring home the bagels. And instead of take the bull by the horns, take the flower by the thorns, Rob.
That makes it really angry, and I'm not sure why.
I think it's because there becomes a point where this sort of like, whether you call it political correctness or anything like that, can become almost a version of fascism. When you police the amount that people say to this degree, that now we're being told that calling a pet a pet. I mean, what does the word pet even mean? Let's find out. Actually, I'm going to find out the etymology of that word, Rob.
By the way, if anyone was wondering, PETA stands for the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Thank you.
Just wanted to.
So pet is a noun. Pet is a noun that, Rob, dates to the 16th century from remarkably a Scottish Gaelic word meaning tame animal. Pet is a verb meaning treat as a pet. To indulge dates to about a century later. So there you go. You've got nothing, have you, Rob?
No, nothing at all, no.
Okay, Rob, it is time for our listener story of the week. Who's it from?
I hate to say this, Alex.
Can't be Amy, Rob.
Right. I want
Rob,
it
in
not
evolutionary terms, she's come. Do you know what I mean? She's raised to she's decimated everything before her.
Alex, this story is so extraordinary to the extent that I generally had to look whether this was legit.
Okay, get on with it then, Rob, because we're running out of time. And if you want to get into this, I want to too. Let's go on, hit the ground running.
Right, okay. First of all, it's a new paper. It's from the Cambridge Independent, which I have checked. It is a legitimate news source. It's from the 30th.
And they're petitioning for an independent Cambridge, Rob, independent from the whole of the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
they want to what's it? Cessate? No, what's it called?
Succeed? No.
Yes, no.
Secede. I know what you mean.
They're a separatist movement. That's the point.
That'll do. Yeah. So it's from the 30th of January. It's by Alex Spencer, and this story is extraordinary. So, Entrepreneur. Well, I can say it properly. Peter Dorr creates sleeping bin for the homeless.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I'm quite shocked. Go on.
So a multi-millionaire entrepreneur, Peter Dorr, I think it's Dorr anyway, has fashioned...
Does he vote Conservative?
We'll come on to that. Has fashioned a sleeping pod out of 2 wheelie bins, which he claims would help rough sleepers stay dry at night.
Right.
Entrepreneur. Millionaire. Yes. He admits the idea has been met with some consternation, calling it a mama idea that people would either love or hate. But he now plans to make a YouTube video showing people how to create their own pod, which he says just costs just £100. Mr. Dorr, who stood as a Brexit Party candidate for the Cambridge seat in last December's general election, said, "My hope is that Alex, he's trying to help the homeless. Let's just hear him out here."
This reminds me of when. Do you remember when businesses put those sort of They put spiked bits of concrete outside the ledges and everything around the building to stop homeless people. So even outside the door, stop homeless people, being able to lie down or sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they were pigeons.
I'm going to continue reading the story, but I think you need to see it.
Right. Okay, go on.
My hope is that if it works and homeless people like them, it will go global and people will be using them as sleeping pods around the world. He added, "It's a Marmite design. Some people think it's absolutely genius. Some people are actually horrified. Oh, you can't put people in rubbish bins, they say. My argument is, I'm not putting homeless people in there. They are choosing it."
Hey? Sorry, hang on. Whoa. Rob, can you give me the headline? I'm struggling here.
So, entrepreneur Peter Dorr creates sleeping bins for the homeless.
Sleeping bins, that's it. Okay, I'm now on the Cambridge Independent. Sorry, why is he holding two... Sorry. They're just 2 wheelie bins which have been connected together.
Yeah.
How do you sleep? So you put your legs in one of them and then you flip over the top bin around you.
Yeah.
How'd you get out?
Have you got the second picture where he's cut an eye hole into it so you can look out, just make sure that there's no potential dangers there?
It looks like a letterbox. What is wrong with this man, Rob? Rob, this man's... Hang on a minute. There have been some great ideas in the history of humankind where somebody's had what we call a eureka moment.
Yeah.
When you think of people like Newton, yeah? When you think, I'm sure, of people like Edison.
Yeah.
All these things, these eureka moments. He's been lying in bed one night. Maybe he just put out the bins and he thought, what would happen if he got out of bed, he went down, he got another wheelie bin from around the corner, he put them together and he said, I know what we could do. We could put a homeless person in this.
Alex,
read that thing that he just said. What did he just say about choice? Sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
We're going to have to read... Yeah, exactly, because I think we're going to have to... As he's saying... So some people are actually horrified, saying, oh, you can't put homeless people in rubbish bins, they say. My argument is that I'm not putting people in there. They are choosing it. So it's okay, Alex, because people are choosing to get into the wheelie bins voluntarily.
I think, to be fair, what he's saying is that they'd only go in one if they wanted to.
Yeah, no, it is, to be fair. So,
would you want to sleep in that? I mean, it's like a prison with a hole cut out of it. That's all it is. I'd prefer to be out under a sleeping bag than in that. How is that? So what's that meant to protect me from? Some people could literally, Rob, could come and pick me up in my pod and roll me down the road.
Alex, I feel that you're... as he said, I don't think you're acknowledging genius when you see it.
You're right, I'm small-minded.
This man is a multi-millionaire entrepreneur, and he's come up with
I'd love to know where he got that money.
Groundbreaking. Yeah. All I'm doing is mitigating the rough sleeping environment to something a bit more comfortable and secure. But there are two typical responses to them. The businessman from Ely said he first hit on the idea of using the bins as a place to sleep when he built a prototype of a single-person car, also made from a bin.
Sorry, this man's a lunatic. Can I just say, when you said he first came up with the idea, I thought he was going to say he first came up with the idea when his wife kicked him out for having an affair and he had to sleep in his garden in a bin.
I mean, it's more than possible, let's be honest. So
I'm not suggesting he's had an affair, by the way. That was obviously just speculation.
Of course. I was messing around with them and got in and found it was dry and warm. Secondly, it's unbelievably easy to make. It's just 2 wheelie bins with 4 saw cuts and a couple of bolts. The wheelie bins cost £50, so 2 wheelie bins is £100. I chose it because they're cheap and ubiquitous. They are a global thing. It was just one of those bright spark ideas.
Just stop.
What?
Right.
What's the matter?
So, all around London, we're going to have these bins for homeless people to sleep in, right?
Yeah.
When they're not in the bins and not sleeping, what's going to happen to those? Where are they stored? They're going to have to be kept out on the pavement.
Yeah.
If people see them, they're going to think, oh, there's a bin. A bin with a fucking hole in it, like a letterbox. They're either going to put their letters in it or they're going to put their trash in it. And then the homeless person has to empty the trash every night. Where? Onto the street. This is ridiculous.
Alex, you're not thinking about this practically. The bins will be a different colour, I assume.
Where are they stored when they're not being used?
Well, they're taken... As we all know, the homeless will obviously carry their goods with them, so they'll just be homeless people walking around with their makeshift houses.
I once saw a homeless man, Rob, walking down the road with numerous things on his person. And I stopped in amazement, Rob, because strapped to his back was a full-length mirror.
Yeah.
It's tied to his back. I'm talking full length. And hanging from his belt by its electric cord was an electric kettle.
Right. Where's that been plugged in?
Well, I don't know, Rob. But what I mean is, he literally had all his things with him.
Wow.
Rob, this is ridiculous.
Can I just... There's a few more bits I think we do need to cover. So, asked whether you'd tried to sleep in one of the pods himself, Mr. Doyle replied, I laid in one for some 10 minutes. It would be nice if they were slightly bigger, but that's what wheelie bins are. He took 2 prototypes to outside Jimmy's shelter in Cambridge. Can you imagine if this lunatic turned up to a homeless shelter and said...
Rob,
I've cracked it. I've cracked the homelessness crisis.
I don't know how this man's still alive after he had the fucking balls to do that. How the hell did he escape there in one piece, Rob? Anyway, yeah. So what did he say happened?
They said, however, even after demonstrating how the pod could be used, there appeared to be no takers.
Rob, is this man a real human being?
And then
am I living in a parallel universe? Is this man
Alex,
real?
This is the state of the UK at this point in time.
Rob, if I saw this on TV in a sketch, I'd think this is too far-fetched to even be funny.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing Reeves and Mortimer would come up with.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
And it would just be a ridiculous, impromptu, not even scripted, ad hoc sketch.
This would be the thing, that, as you mentioned before...
Do you remember Councillor Cox and Evans?
Yes.
It's their kind of idea, Tom, if you're listening in Gloucester. This is them. Coxie, you fat bastard. This is their idea.
Yeah. Just to finish
Fun
off
bins.
the article, a spokesperson from Jimmy's stressed the charity had nothing to do with the project because the guy was clearly mentally ill.
Can I just say, I hate to say it as well, I just do want to go out there and say, if you're a charity and you're called Jimmy's, I just think you've got to change that name nowadays, Rob.
Yeah, it gives them.
How many people do you hear nowadays
unsavory,
saying, I'm going to call my kid Jimmy? Nah, it's tainted. Right, look, Rob, we gotta move on. Look, Rob, we bring this episode of Local Anaesthetic to a close. Thank you, Amy. And we look forward with a mixture of eager anticipation yet trepidation to our next episode, Rob, as we move ever more forward, Rob, like a man approaching a group of homeless people who have camped out on Glastonbury Tor. And he sort of climbed up that hill, Rob, with 2 wheelie bins to show them the future. How they can live, Rob, in a life of relative luxury in his sleeping bin.
Yep.
Only for them to ask him to show them how it works. He gets inside and they roll him, Rob, down the Tor to his eventual demise. Just like that, we move ever more forward to our next episode, which will be episode 303. Rob, we can be found on our website, lapodcast.net. All of the previous episodes are there. There's a donate button in the top right hand corner. If you're feeling generous, please donate to us or please leave a tip via PayPal. You'll work out how to do it. That would really help us. We're on all the podcast apps, so there you can subscribe, leave us a review, search for Alex and Rob or LA Podcast or whatever. We are on Spotify. We're on Facebook, Facebook.com/LA Podcast and Twitter @LA Podcast. So if you want to submit us a story, tweet it to us at LA Podcast, post it on Facebook, or email us the good old fashioned way at lapodcast.net@gmail.com. That's lapodcast.net@gmail.com. And Rob, because we've covered so much, we've run out of time. There's no time for anything else this week. You want to say anything before we go? Any reflections, thoughts? You got a few seconds.
You just gotta love those bins. Is that enough?
That'll do. God bless.
And keep it local.